Hello Cancer, and welcome to your reading today. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for your patience in waiting for this video. It's been a bit of an odd week, to tell you the truth, so I didn't feel it was the best time to read for you. So I hope you enjoy the reading. If you do, please do like and subscribe. It just really helps. But I want to say thank you for joining me. And if you're new here, you're very welcome. And thank you to all of you who are returning. They're on it already. Spirit are here. So let's get started, Cancer. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the energies around you at the moment. We're going to look at any incoming energies, and we're going to look at any advice or guidance from Spirit for you moving forward. So, interesting cards already. Wow. Interesting. Liking this, Cancer, honestly. Wow. Wow. Okay, we have on the bottom of the deck all that glitters. We'll come to that in a second. I'm going to get started. Bear with me. Sorry, I will be taking little water breaks because before I started these readings this afternoon, I decided to sage my whole house. Just because I felt the energy needed lifting and clearing. So I did that, which was great, but the sage keeps catching my throat. So hence the reason. If I keep having a drink of water, I do apologise, but it's better than me coughing, frankly. Right, Cancer, let's get started. I see you at somewhat of a crossroads. We see here the fork in the road. So you may be in a position where you're not quite sure which direction to go in, Cancer. Things may feel a bit up in the air. You may feel like you want to move in a certain direction, but you're not sure what the outcome will be. And equally, you have choices of directions that you can move in. We see how many arrows here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5, you know. We even see the monkey here pointing in a certain direction. So it's really important for you to stay grounded at this moment in time, Cancer, while you try to figure out which is the best route for you and which direction that you want to move in. Spirit is saying take that time. Take that time to be present. Take that time to sit in the here and now. You know, it's time for you to just take a deep breath, to relax, to calm things down, especially if things have been quite busy for you recently. It's time for you to take a step back and to just recenter, reground, and actually bring this calm atmosphere back into your life. Because we do see things changing. Look at this. Love this. I love this energy, the energy of this card, because it like exudes this sort of waking up into a new existence and something very exciting. And I love the purple colours because, you know, it's a very spiritual colour, purple. But here we clearly have a new life opening up for you. We'll find out more from the tarot in a moment, see what other guidance they want to tell us regarding this new life. But yeah, they're emphasising the fact that, you know, while you're trying to make a decision on how to move forward, which direction to go in, it's important for you just to have that period of calm, because things are about to change, Cancer, and they're looking really good, because they're going to lead to a lot of happiness. Now then, what we saw on the bottom of the deck was all that glitters. All that glitters is here as a little bit of a warning. Now, it's nothing major. Spirit are watching over you. We see representation of Spirit here. But they're saying while you're sitting and you're contemplating and you're deciding which direction to go in, the overarching enemy? Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, look out for people who haven't got your best interests at heart also, Cancer, because that word enemy came from nowhere, frankly. Well, it would have come from Spirit, but you know, I hadn't intended to say it. So look out for anybody around you who you feel isn't being honest, they're wearing a mask, they're not being authentic. Look out for those people. I was in the middle of saying something and they gave me the word enemy, so it sort of threw me a bit. But yeah, okay, yes, what I was saying was, you know, if you are in this position at the moment where you're trying to choose which direction to go in, or trying to choose which action to take next on a particular issue, just be very careful that you don't jump into something because it may not be as good as it looks. This is why they're telling you to take the time to sit calmly and contemplate and really think things through in a calm manner. They keep bringing me back to this card, so it's obviously very important. But yes, just watch out for things that aren't authentic or aren't or look too good to be true, basically. So let's get the tarot and see what else they tell us about this new life and this new situation. Sorry, me banging my water jar down. Right, I'm going to flip these cards because they're quite new. Well, I haven't used them much, to be honest, and I've been using them recently, but they are very stiff and difficult to shuffle. So, right, let's get started. Cancer, what I will say is if any of you would like a personal reading, a private reading, whatever you like to call it, something to look at your circumstances in terms of your decision making and your possible paths and routes, then do check out my Buy Me a Coffee page, either through the description box below or the QR code if you're on a bigger screen. Under the shop tab, you'll find all my readings listed, and I've tried to vary the prices, so there might be something there that appeals to you. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that before we get into the tarot. So let's see what advice Spirit have for you. Spirit, we're with Cancer, please. Why this fork in the road? What can you tell us about the fork in the road? Nine of Pentacles. This is coming up such a lot in the readings today. It shows that, you know, you've worked hard in the past, Cancer, to have a really positive outcome. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of achievement. You know, it's the culmination of your past works, your past efforts. You're about to be rewarded, but this isn't something that has come out of the blue. This is something that you have worked towards or put effort into, you know, and now you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. This particular deck shows the Nine of Pentacles with an owl present, and the owl is here. Oh, it's not an owl, actually. That's really odd because it had owl wings, and I've talked about owls with this card today a lot, which is very, very interesting. That's actually a dove of peace, which has been brought to my attention while I'm reading for you, Cancer. The owl energy is very much around, even though there's not an owl. How bizarre, because I have talked about owls with this card, as I said earlier, with other people's readings. But this is definitely, as I say, the wisdom that you have brought in. The owl wisdom is obviously present because I keep mentioning it, even though there's not an owl. But this is a dove. It's a dove of peace. Things will begin to calm down a lot more because, you know, as I said, Nine of Pentacles, card of achievement, reward for what, you know, the efforts you've put in the past. Now, it's interesting to see the Nine of Pentacles alongside you being in a position where you're having to make a decision of what comes next, because it almost feels like you're going to be elevated in some way, Cancer, which will enable you to make a clearer decision on which way you're going next. Let me get another card with this Nine of Pentacles, please. Tell us more about this Nine of Pentacles, Spirit, please. Oops, thank you. Gosh, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. So, you know, there's the opportunity for you, you know, to move in the direction that gives you a lot of stability. The Ten of Pentacles is a lovely card because, you know, it is really talking about real achievement, real, as we can see here, family stability. That's what it's talking about. And I do think you're going to be in a position where, you know, everything comes together and gives you a really solid footing for the future. And maybe this is what you've been waiting for before you make a decision about what comes next and what action to take next. That's a very interesting mix of cards there. But it is almost, as I say, that you're waiting for this situation to arise, there is some sort of elevation is the word they keep giving me, some sort of elevation about to happen that will help you with deciding which direction to go in next. And again, Spirit, please, why are you telling Cancer to breathe? Why are you telling Cancer to take that time out? Because that will bring you clarity. Yes, this is exactly what I was just saying. It threw me a bit when the Ten of Pentacles came out because I was expecting a sword card because that was the energy I was feeling. And here we have it. Things are going to be a lot clearer. I think you will have, you know, definitely a clearer idea. This is why they're asking you to take the time to just really sit, ground yourself, to think things through, because the clarity will then come. That will be what will help you to make the decision on which direction to move in. Tell us about this new life for Cancer, please. Again, they're bringing this warning. Now, if you're in a position where things are going to be elevated for you, Cancer, whether that be financially or in terms of a job promotion, or maybe you've moved into a bigger house, whatever it is for you, be very careful of people, as we said when we saw the All That Glitters card. Be very careful of people who maybe think they've got something to gain, but they're not being authentic. So if you suddenly find people come around because they've heard that you're in an elevated position, just be careful of their motives. I don't feel there's anything sinister. I don't feel there's anything to be afraid of. They're just asking you to see it clearly for what it is. You know, it's actually quite superficial, but something that this person is trying to, trying to get involved with you because they feel that they might be able to gain something. That's how it's feeling. This crow is, right at the center of this card and has its beak open as if it's loudly shouting to you, as a word of warning. Tell us about this new life, please, Spirit. What's the new life for Cancer, please? You deserve it, Cancer, because look, I think you've had a lot of heartbreak, a lot of hardships that you've gone through, a lot of emotional stuff that you've had to deal with. You deserve this new life. It hasn't gone unnoticed. Spirit are there watching what's happening for you, watching the struggles that you've had. Your new life is about to happen. And that is why this elevation has taken place now, because it's time. It's your time, Cancer. It's your time to heal. It's your time to move forward. It's your time for new beginnings, a new life, new start. Now, obviously, that will mean different things to all of you because this is a general reading. But I do think you will be clearer on the ideas that you have. The King of Swords energy is here, so it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, but the King of Swords is very, I was going to use the word strategic, but they keep flashing up a different king for me, which is really odd. They keep flashing up the King of Wands, because King of Wands, they like to strategize and plan. But there's going to be, I don't feel you in a lot of planning energy. I feel you having a lot of clarity. I feel you being able to be quite direct with people, Cancer, over how you want things to be and how things are going to be moving forward. You may have to be a bit aloof. I don't feel you're going to be cold towards people, but I feel you're going to do what is best for you. And I think you're going to be quite direct about it, and you're going to stand your ground. That is the energy that I'm feeling. Because you have this opportunity of this new start here, and I think you're just going to go for it. Yeah, there's definite healing here. You know, there's a very fair outcome. And, you know, as I said earlier, Spirit know what you've been through. They know your stresses. They know your emotional challenges that you've had. This happy new life is being gifted to you. It's being given to you. You know, it's fair. It levels things out. It brings that sense of balance back in for you emotionally. And I think you know you deserve it, Cancer. And that is why this balance is being brought in for you and why it feels fair to you. Anything else you want to tell Cancer, Spirit, please? Anything else you want to tell Cancer, please? Oop. Thank you. You are loved, Cancer. We have this partnership here. It may be that your new life involves a new love interest, or it may be that you get to spend time with your partner, more time with your partner. Two of Cups also could be about you making a decision to have the life that you really want, the life that you love, the life that makes you feel connected. You know, beautiful. That's what's going to lead to your happiness, because it's about emotional happiness. And they've given us on the bottom of the deck the Page of Cups. Don't be afraid to dream. You know, the Page of Cups, I love this particular Page of Cups because it just says it all. The Page of Cups is the youngest page in the deck, and they are mystical and dreamers, you know. They're not afraid to dream. They're not afraid to believe that their dreams will come true. We see a flying pig here. Page of Cups doesn't care whether it seems realistic. They go after their dreams, you know. And look, we have the heart symbol with the two hands here, which goes hand in hand with your Two of Cups. Don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to follow your dreams, Cancer. Don't be afraid. There's nothing here about fear, actually. I think you're quite determined. You're quite headstrong in this situation to have the life that you want now. And that is so healthy. But enjoy it. You know, have the playfulness of the Page of Cups. You know, they're very childlike. Their inner child sort of knows no bounds. So amazing. Right, I am going to get some Moonology, which won't surprise you if you've watched my channel before. I just love these cards. They bring everything together, so I love that. Cancer, here we go. And boy, did you need to hear that. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Yeah. Big changes ahead for you, Cancer. Whoops. Your dreams need a practical plan. So yeah, we did talk a little bit about strategy, and they kept showing me the King of Wands. So maybe there is something about strategy there, but I just think you're determined. I think you already know what you want moving forward, but you couldn't decide which path was the best one to walk down. This is what they said about breathing. Meditate and contemplate. This is about you taking that time we talked about earlier to actually be clear. You've got the clarity card, new beginnings, new clear ideas, new clear beginnings, to take you on a path that you're going to enjoy so much, and it's going to bring you a lot of happiness, Cancer. On the bottom of the deck, we have hold your vision. So yes, that's what we said. Remember, Page of Cups energy. Hold your vision. What are your dreams? What do you want to pursue? You know, how do you want your life to be, Cancer? It's coming in. So just focus on your dreams. Oh, wow, that's so lovely. Okay, Cancer, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, please do like and subscribe. That would be something you can do for me. I'm just looking, before I close, actually, I'm looking at this. How that hadn't struck me before. We have the Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords, Three of Swords, King of Swords. So much clarity being brought to a situation. So positive for you. That is so lovely. Yes, I'm going to go. Otherwise, I'll be, chatting to you all day, Cancer. Take care, and I will speak to you all really soon. Bye for now.